Hey, welcome to Becky's Garden Paradise. I'm out in my backyard and I showed you guys my Valentine's Day garden makeover where Mr. B pulled up the raised beds and tilled the whole garden area so that I can have an in-ground row garden. And I just want to show you what all I have going on. I'm super excited. I just went around and took a sample to send off to the University of Florida to get a soil analysis to tell me exactly what my soil needs. So I had to go around and dig 6-inch deep holes in random places in my garden plot and gather enough to equal about a cup of soil to send off to them. So I also came out with my son a couple days ago, maybe it might have been yesterday, I think 2 days ago. My son came out here and put the posts for my garden fence up for me, and then yesterday together we struggled, and the struggle was real with the garden fence. We struggled and got the fence up to the best of our ability. It was the first time for both of us, and we had the help of some zip ties, but for the most part it's up. The goal of the garden fence is to keep my dog out of the garden, so I'm going to go ahead and show you that along with some pictures from some of the things that I've done this week. Becky's Garden Paradise. This is the garden fence that my son and I put up, and it's 4 feet tall, and I got it in, the fencing came in a 50-foot roll from Lowe's, and I have 4-foot T-posts. So we have it up. It needs some work over there. It's curved over there, so still have some work to do on it over there. And then I want to do something on the end over here to strengthen it because it's kind of leaning, but also to close the gap because my dog hasn't discovered that she can squeeze through that yet, but I'm sure she will. And I just want it to be strong enough in case she does jump on it to try to go after a squirrel or something that she sees out here. So I was being kind of hard on myself because I was like, the fence is supposed to be tight and straight, and we got it as straight and as tight as we could get it, like I said, being first time fence installers. But I got some great feedback from one of the gardening groups that I'm in on Facebook, and they said, one, you got it up. 2, as long as it keeps the dog out, it's serving the purpose. And then 3, just grow some trellising crops on it and you won't even be able to tell that it's not straight. So great feedback. I appreciate that. This is going to be the entrance. I've had one of my neighbors come over here, Ryan. His wife is the one that made my embroidered Becky's Garden Paradise apron, and he took a look at the entrance that I have because I asked him to make me a custom gate for the entrance to Becky's Garden Paradise. So he's going to work on that in the next couple weeks. I'm super excited. We already have the materials, and I have some great ideas for how I'm going to decorate the entrance. So stay tuned for that. Still been out here working, clearing, moving, cleaning, doing all kinds of stuff. And wanted to show you this bed. Obviously the end needs some TLC, some attention, but I have my favorite flower, snapdragons. They look like they're about to start blooming. I have some red onions that I planted probably in November. Some more snapdragons. Like I said, they're getting closer to blooming. It's going to be a pretty yellow. I have my dino kale, which I've had for like a good 4 years. And this is going to be my container garden area, and I have ordered some more of this woven weed fabric, but I don't want to wait for it to come because it might take a couple weeks. So I'm going to go ahead and work on my beds, and then when I get it down for this year, I'll just put it down over the paths so that I can get everything planted, get most of the stuff planted, and not have to wait a couple more weeks for the woven weed fabric to get here. And my idea is to also run it in front of the garden fence, and I can use this to put containers as well and to maintain a barrier between the weeds, because I obviously have more weeds than grass growing over here. But to keep a barrier between the garden and the weeds. And then I need to clean up that corner over there, weed eat along the edges. I've been out here hoeing a couple times. Every time I see grass or weeds trying to grow out here, I'll come around and hoe the weeds to try to keep them under control. I'm going to have to do that on at least a weekly basis until I get that weed fabric so that they don't take over. So I'm going to make my first bed along the fence. And for my climbing crop, guess what it is? It's going to be Rattlesnake Green Beans from Standard Feed and Seed here in Jacksonville, Florida. So I've read and seen good things about rattlesnake green beans. So hopefully they grow as prolifically as I've seen other people grow them. Because I love green beans. So thanks for joining me. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. See you next time. Alright, so I just planted my first row of rattlesnake beans. I've grown bush beans, like Contender's my favorite, but yellow wax beans, the purple beans, green beans. So rattlesnake beans, they're in the ground. I hoed a furrow, planted them, and now I'm getting ready to water them in. I have these bamboo stakes on each end of the row just as a marker. So here we go. Just gonna water them in real good. Supposed to get some rain tomorrow. I found the top of a pipe when I was hoeing this row. Rusty pipe. So I don't know if it's from an old water line or old septic system. Who in the world knows? But it's the second time I've dug up the top of a rusty pipe from under the ground out here. Alrighty, they're watered in. So Lord willing, we'll have some rattlesnake green beans growing along this fence. So stay tuned and I'll bring you updates. Watch me as I get the rest of this area planted. It's about a 24 by 24 area that the in-ground plot is. Plus my gate is there, so I'll have a path from the gate probably coming up to my rain barrel. Alrighty. Before you go, I want to show you some pictures. So, hope you enjoy these. Just some of the things that have been happening around the house. Been off on spring break. And I've had some renovations going on in the house, which I'll share with you. As well as some work in the garden, some visitors in the garden. So, stay tuned.